Hi everybody, Ben here. Welcome to Artless Ordinary. So, I was asked to do a pink and white pour, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. They wanted cells, so I am going to do a sandwich pour, which I haven't actually done. I've done flip cups, but I haven't done a sandwich pour. But I've seen Julie do them heaps in her videos, and I thought I hopefully should be able to do that. So we're going to see. So what I have is I've got 2 cups of white, which is 85 grams of white and 105 grams of pouring medium. Then I have my 4 colors, which is pink, magenta, carmine, and this one was magenta with the tiniest little bit of black, and it's come out really like a dark purple, like a plum. But I think that might actually work well with it, so I'm going to leave it in there. So, because I don't really know how else to darken up a pink without making it purple. So, these are the colours, and these are mixed. These were 25 grams paint and 25 grams pouring medium. So, the pouring medium I used is Elmer's Clear Glue 70%, water 30% mixture. So that's what I have done, and I hope that this turns out the way that I plan in my head. So what I got to do is I got to put in white into the base. So I've got a whole cup to use for this layer. And I think I got that pretty even. It's the harder part for me, is getting it all even. And one thing I have done, or haven't done I should actually say, is added my silicone. So I'm just going to put in helmars silicone oil. I reckon I'm going to go 4 drops each colour. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I do silicone, I stir it in really, really well. I don't like my silicone to be too large. I know a lot of people say don't stir it in well, but I prefer to. I think you get better results when it's actually mixed in well to the paints compared to when it's just sitting on top. And you want it even throughout the whole cup of paint, because otherwise you'll end up getting a whole bunch of cells in one spot and not many in another spot, and I don't think that looks the greatest. So, but it is up to you what you decide to do, but my choice is to stir it in well. They've thickened up a little bit, except for that pink. So I always find I mix my paints up a little bit ahead of time if I can. Like this has only been an hour and a half. But the light pink, so just the normal plain pink, actually feels like it's a little bit thinner than the others. But I'm not going to do anything about that. So now the colours I'm going to go is going to be, I'm kind of considering this as a light pink. Even though it's dark, it's different to the magenta. I might go that order actually. So then this pink. No, I'm going to do that order. I want the purple and the light pink next to each other, I think. So what I have to do now is just try and pour this in a layer. You don't want it to be heavy. So just gently pour it in, and then I just give it a bit of a swirl, just so I don't want it to sink down into the white. So all of these paints are marte. Alright, there's that one. Then the same with the next colour. So try and layer it more than anything. Alrighty. There's not as much colour here, so I'm only doing one layer of each colour. So it's a little bit different to the flip cup. Then I'm going to go magenta. So the only opaque colour is actually that pink that I just put in. Maybe the dark plum shouldn't be, because it's virtually this magenta with the tiny, and when I say a tiny bit of black, I mean it was like 1 gram, maybe 1.5 grams of black. I probably, even after I saw how dark it was getting, I thought maybe that was too much. Sometimes you really don't realize how much it changes just by adding the tiniest little amount of color to another. And last, the carmine, which I do like this color. It's not a pink and it's not a red, it's kind of an in-between. But it is pretty. But I really wasn't too sure how to make a darker pink, because whatever I added I thought would turn it purple, which it did. So okay, that's the 4 colours, so that's done. Now I have my second cup of white, which we will just evenly distribute over the 3 cups again. Try and do it as a layer as well. I think that was 1/3 of a cup. Okay. Sorry for boring you with this part, but I wanted you to see how I layered it, because I haven't done this before, so if you watch my videos you haven't actually seen how this is layered. And two, I always try to do, when I haven't done something new, try to show the whole process for myself, because I haven't done it either. And that way I can learn. If it turns out good, I copy it. If it turns out bad, I watch the video and learn where I made my mistake from. So, pardon me. So I'm putting these two aside while I do my first flip. So they're quite full. I think that looks about even. And while they're settling down, they don't need to settle for too long, because the cups were so full, there's not really going to be a lot left over at the end anyway. So leaving it upside down, it's not like there's too much to drain. Just get my gloves on and ready. Make sure I've got all my tools ready, and where's my blowtorch? For some reason my blowtorch collects dust. So I'm going to put that up here side, so it's close by. Now I'm just going to flip these over. Whoops, don't want that there anymore. So you can see the weight of them is all kind of going together. A little bit worried about how I left that there. I probably shouldn't have done it, so I'm going to have to tilt this way first, because I want to chip off those bits. So I'm just going side to side. Making the paint come down. I'm going to go over this bottom corner now. Over, yep. Bring it back. And I'm going to come around and down to this corner. Once I got these bits off, then I can relax a little bit more. Okay, and then bring it back. So a few large cells have already popped up, which happens. They will continue to grow. Just wiping my hands. So it's I don't normally, I'm going to torch now that I'm halfway through. I don't normally do that, but seeing I'm trying to recreate, well not recreate, but I'm copying Julie Katz's style on a sandwich pour, because I haven't done one before. I want to do it the same way that she does. The main reason I'm wiping my hands is I've had this gas thing for over a year and it still doesn't have paint on it, and I don't want paint on it. I'm a little bit particular, we could say fussy. And I don't want things covered in paint, so I'm starting up high and just working my way to try to create a few cells. Whoops. I got distracted and I held the torch in one spot for too long. So even though I mix the paint well, the silicone, I do feel like there's spots that don't have much silicone in them. But we will see. So now I've got some cells up. I'm going to stretch it over to the other side. Going back and forth to try to make those cells a little bit bigger. They did appear in more of a clump than what I would have preferred. Just trying to get them spaced out. I'm going to go over this corner here with the white first. Over and back. Going slowly. Now I'm kind of wiggling it to the other way. Now I'm just going to have to go for it. Over. Yeah. I've overstretched some of them. That's okay. I'm going to see if I can tip off a little bit more off this corner because I think there's just a lot of white and no colour underneath. Do that and come back. I'm liking the colours. Wish there was a little bit more carmine in there. So let me just double check my corners. Okay, that looks okay. I'm going to just scrape this with my finger underneath. Get off that excess paint. Okay. So, the gloves are off. And I am going to do another torch. See if I can bring up some smaller cells and some cells in the areas that don't have a lot happening. So I'm going to try not to get too close. I think I might need to increase. Oops, wrong way. So I'm just hovering around but moving it the whole time. I can't see a lot happening there. So I wonder whether the silicone just didn't get to that area or not. haven't seen any cells pop up. There's some. So it either wasn't close enough or I was close and I got bunches of cells. I don't think I've put enough silicone in. But it could be because the white had no silicone, that it's a bit sporadic where the silicone actually is. I'm going to stop there. So, like, I wasn't getting many cells, and then when they did pop up, they popped up in areas, but I couldn't force any in this area, and I couldn't through that strip. So there just might not have been enough silicone underneath to bring any out. But the ones that have come up are pretty cool colors. I love these ones over here. Some patches of this do look a little bit maybe heavy, but I don't think it's bad heavy. I think it just creates a different effect. But you definitely got these bigger ones. So I'm going to purposely not torch halfway through. I don't find it does me any favors. Probably still need, as everything, the more you do a certain pour, the more you learn. I think I'm actually okay at doing flip cups, but if you do them a lot more often, I think you've actually got a little bit more, you know the style and the paint, how it's going to move a little bit. But I'm happy. I love the carmine, and it has actually come up in certain areas over the other place. Even in this dark purple area, there is carmine that has come up through it. I may see if I can try and get some cells in this patch here. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put it on really low and see if I can just get close to that one little spot. Whoops. Yep, that was close. Yeah, none are going to come up in that strip. Otherwise they would have just then. Alrighty. So I'm happy with this. It is a little bit different. I've got kind of cells that have gone very out of shape, and then I've got a bunch of smaller cells that are in between. But overall, I like the colouring of it. I'm going to have to try this again. Remember, this is the first time I've done technically a sandwich pour. So I don't 100% know if I've done it correctly or not until I need to go back and watch the video, see what I've done and see if there's anything different. But I'm pleased. I just think, as they say, practice makes perfect, and I think if I do this more, I'll learn more about it. But I'm not disappointed in any way at all. So I think my best bet is to pause this, bring you down. Pardon me. Pause this, bring you down for a close up, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, there we go. The colours aren't correct in the camera. They're not picking up the carmine as beautiful as it is, which is a shame because it's over here It is really beautiful. So can you see all the smaller cells that have come up in between the bigger overstretched areas? But that kind of just brings different interest, more different things to look at. We've got little clusters of cells up there. Must have been silicone in this little spot here, but not in this other area because I couldn't get cells come up. And then same within here, I've got cells pop up through the little streaks. So it's kind of cute and different in a way. This area definitely had some silicone because I got different cells pop up in different areas. Look at the colour of those there. I won't focus. They're some of my favourite. Little eye in the middle. And then all these. Oh, look at this area. Isn't that cool? Absolutely beautiful. So, I am happy. And I think the person that wanted pink, white with some cells is actually going to love this. So, I'm quite pleased. So, let me go. Sorry, tongue twisted. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you soon for another pour. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing soon. Working out in my head what I want to do and how I want to do it. So, yeah. But have fun, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.